Okay, peace be upon you. Okay, on Monday we have Fountain of Wisdom. Tuesday, Love and Wisdom. Wednesday, Redemption. Thursday, major changes here. Things are collapsing around you. I think you're bringing them down. Some form of a demolition energy. Destruction of the environment. Number 5. 2-2 here. An important choice has already been made. Someone has made a decision to turn their life around, drop everything else. They're very determined to make something happen, to build a different life or reality for themselves. They've already made that change within. Now it's starting to kind of move in that direction, which means that they're making order out of chaos, basically. Spring cleaning energy. Friday, intellectual talent. Oh, they know what they're doing, whomever that is. Foundations, 31. This is about marriages, home, work, institutions, communities, family, but also personal power. This is someone who's is not going to neither seek advice for anyone else nor be apologetic about the decisions that they're making. Very focused on foundations. I think they're already there. They want to build on it, but there are all of these things piled up on top. Chaos again. So they're bringing about order, Aries energy. Okay, so we have this Mercury retrograde in Pisces. Fountain of Wisdom, Love and Wisdom. Okay. Intellectual talent. Someone is definitely benefiting this energy. Depends on where you have your Piscean and Mercurial Geminic placements. Okay. Saturnian energy. And definitely archetypal Aries here. Authority, personal authority. Doing what needs to be done. No questions asked, no ifs and buts, no hesitation. Even if that means bringing down the old, deconstructing in order to restructure, rebuild something. Let's see what we've got here. Someone it's a control demolition. Whatever sticks and stays, perfect. Whatever not. This means, again, relationships. Yeah. Saturday, restitution. And some things are starting to already pay up. And I think someone's also discovering some successes that they've had that they may have not seen amidst all of the other things that they needed to work on and solve here. This also speaks about if there's someone else involved here, too. Someone is either changing their perspective, their approach. Someone else may have made a decision. They may want to be a part of this rebuilding. Someone may want to join along for the ride. Let's see. Dangerous writing, 7. Messages. Something in writing. But again, danger, what does it mean? Dangerous to whom? Let's look. Saturday, right? And on Sunday, divine comfort. As I said, dangerous to whom? 40, 4-4, 4-4, and there's something in the middle here. And here it is. concealer and passive water energy. A need to either look at something from a different perspective, flip something on its head, pick it back up, revisit it, reconstruct it, to give it another chance, or start building this time around with determination, clarity, and willpower. Someone knows what they want, what they need to do in order to get it, and this is their grand rising. But you thought I was joking. This is what focus and focused intention does. But this is someone who is really not involved in anyone else's process right now. They're going to be very hard to either approach. They will remove anything that, or anyone that they perceive as an interference or not a valuable contribution to what it is that they're building here. If you want to join for the ride, let's see what you're bringing to the table. Right, let's get to work. Comfort, yes. Bottom of the deck, rectification. So the energy throughout the week, this is it. Mahasaya, number 5, major changes and revolutions that you're doing in your life, your mind, your relationships, your work. It's not always the case that you drop it all together. You just re-envision it. This time around, you charge with a different kind of a perspective. I believe confidence is at its maximum levels, energy and determination. You've made a decision. And again, anyone who wants to join this, they have to bring about that same spirit, aligned and directed towards the same kinds of outcome, and right, they have to be willing to put effort and energy into this. If not, hey, this is Sigma energy, if we're gonna define it, as in, hey, if you're going to be here, make yourself useful. Otherwise, because we're all going to benefit as equals. This is not the emperor that is seeking to build an empire, looking at, servants or anyone who is at any other level. And no, they're doing it. They're taking it upon themselves. Personal authority. I don't need anyone. Jack of all trades, I guess. They're very capable. They have the experience. And they're no longer moving from lack, nor do they need anyone per se. No, but if someone is gonna bring something to the table, it has to have something of value, of worth, to match to some degree, complement, in order for them to perceive it as constructive, useful, not in opportunistic kind of a manner, but rather, hey, if we're gonna join forces, it's amazing, we're gonna build something even greater here. But hey, if not, right, fine, I'll just keep going. You do you energy, live and let live. If you're going to be here, make yourself useful. That's the energy. When it comes to anyone else involved in the process. Fraud and misrepresentation is hiding here. Yeah, they have no time for this. Anyone who makes claims and statements and doesn't walk the walk, and they don't sense potential and intention and falsehood. Yeah. The Tower has to do with them cutting anything that is not of truth, or they don't deem of any actual worth or value. And at this point, they're only working with what's actually truly quintessentially of value, whether that's principles, ideas, effort, work, skills, abilities. They're going to waste nothing, not their time, not their attention. They're not going to be easily neither distracted, confused, deterred, conditioned, lured, or enticed, or by anything, because they know what they want. They're no longer straying off the path. This tunnel vision kind of energy can be intimidating to others. Others may be watching from the outside, like, what is he even doing? He's an emperor, he's supposed to delegate. No, not this one. This is a different kind of an emperor energy. Gender is irrelevant. Anyway, dangerous writings. 7. Someone either said or has ultimately written down something, or they're about to pick back on something that they've either said or done in an attempt to rectify it. Someone wants to clarify something. Almost as if they're also at the same time afraid. It seems as if that someone is in that energy of truth, whereas what they say holds weight. It can affect someone's perception of reality, inner state. So they may have been afraid to either face what's this Libra has to say, or the fact that it's the Emperor is good because it's basically your polar opposite twin, highly complementary. It's a match made in heaven, should they all both be in their power in any kind of a connection whatsoever. But someone wasn't in their power, and I think what made them realize that is, why am I so afraid about what this person says here? Someone may have been waiting for a message to make their own decision in regards to something, only to realize how disempowered they are, and may realize, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be the one to, If there was a clash in either egos or differences that could not be resolved here, someone is taking that, or then rather creating the opportunity for them to get back to something that they couldn't resolve at one point. Rather unexpected, either message, communication incoming as well. So then again, Mercury retrograde. But let's look at the energy. So overall energy for the upcoming week is rectification. What can I fix? How can I do it? But let's pull everything down. Don't be afraid if it looks a bit chaotic. Changes are happening and you're on top of the situation. Alchemy and transformation. Someone is realizing that whatever someone else said held such a vibration, definitely Sigma. Sigma just makes the statement, and however that translates to anyone is none of their problem. And someone was left with that something, right? And it's just there in the back of their mind, and they're realizing that they were perceiving that as either an attack or criticism, but all along you was calling them to some form of a transformation, a higher truth, to level up, to stand in specific truth. So someone made a statement, truthful statement here, right? Almost revelatory, prophetic, this Libra here. And now they're starting to, how did they do it? How did they know that? How do they see it? Sigma. This is someone who, once they stare at you, they look straight into your soul. Someone was terrified of it. Okay. Monday, Fountain of Wisdom. Tell us about Fountain of Wisdom. The Lover in reverse. The decision to shift one's either attitude or perspective and drop something that either couldn't, no longer satisfies them. I feel someone is realizing they're more in touch with their needs and desires, and realize, why am I even thinking about it? I don't even want it anymore. Releasing lingering or problematic energy, individuating what may have kept them stuck. This sometimes is past connections, and someone is also reevaluating their love language, or they may have seen their error in their own ways, or may have contributed to a connection not working out. Either it's not loving in a proper manner, or overgiving. Again, love language seems to be key here. They want an equal, and therefore they're willing to kind of step into that attitude, the unapologetic, the authentic, the self-empowered. So someone is no longer approaching love or romantical connections, relationships in general, with the same attitude. Major changes. They dropped toxic patterns, and they revisited their love language, or how they express affection or care or attention towards others, from a place of disempowerment, confusion, false perceptions of oneself, false humility, overgiving, almost as if they've always felt unworthy of someone who could have been a sincere partner. And many of their behaviors coming from that place of disempowerment, of not being enough, or complex, or so on, feeling unworthy, may have either manifested or not giving the space to anyone to actually love them properly. This is about self-respect, knowing one's self-worth and standing in it. Realize it may have, created a precedent or given others that sensation, or came across exactly as they were, I'm not enough. That false humility and the overgiving, and the putting themselves below their love interest. Whereas, I'm unworthy, just please give in, beggars of love. Yeah, they're done with begging for love. On Tuesday, love and wisdom, liberation, again, revisiting, having finally leveled up in the sense of whatever lessons that they've learned here, they're fully integrated. Someone is fully transformed and renewed now, because they're also starting to kind of take actions from that very wisdom or space of better knowing oneself, or lots of growth has been achieved here. If someone went through the dark night, this is the first actual genuine confirmations of having made it through, having been reborn energy, transformed, illumined, epiphany energy, love and wisdom. Yeah, their energy is perfect. 70 and 14. They also may realize there where they've wasted an effort, or what was draining their energy, what kept them stuck. Wednesday, tell us about Wednesday. Redemption, Bahalaya, redemption, 20, 2, a portal, 4, foundations, 4. Results are about to come by, but some form of a sacrifice is necessary. I don't feel you not being willing or being hesitant in, taking out what's no longer useful, what's revealed as either problematic, pointless, draining, not constructive, efficient, or working for you. Removing old patterns, toxic patterns, going around in circle, paralysis, hesitancy, fear, and lack of faith or vision or distrust. But the energy is helping you in that sense. We have 2 cards for redemption. We have the priest and the travel. Again, I sense this energy of someone coming towards you, recognizing now, having themselves some form of an epiphany because of whatever went on in their life. And something that, again, someone said came from such a connected place at the time. I don't know if they realized it themselves. They just said it because that's who they are. And the Sigma energy rather translates in an energetical, spiritual sense, because they live in their own light of truth. And someone was most likely from a distance. This is sometimes a foreigner. Wants to either clarify or know more about, or is coming around back to basically say that, what you said that, or what you did then, or how that translated. And I hear how we parted ways as well. This was a short encounter, but so powerful. It transformed someone's life. And Libra, you're about to know that something finally clicked for someone. Oh, I get it now. I see it. And they're coming back around to tell you. Either an apology, seeking to confirm something. Yep, someone sees it now. Redemption. And wants to make sure that they know what you were trying to tell them. So if someone either accused you of something, or you had a fallout because of misunderstandings, or it's because you weren't spiritually, energetically in alignment at the time, and someone kind of finally gets that now. Again, possible visits and incoming communication, or a meeting with a stranger here. Yep. With whom now you can finally communicate in full transparency, honesty, and there's some form of an alignment of having reached the same form of a spiritual understanding, insight, or having tapped into some form of a truth that now that these 2 people actually share now. And it may speak of someone's transformation and coming back around to reveal it to you. And to some extent, it's also going to tell you that you were detrimental in this process, that they may not have seen it at the time. Libertines and renegades, right? This energy over here. Someone has definitely leveled up as well. Their life has been thrown upside down. A new reality has emerged. And they're kind of seeing why and what triggered it. And I believe they recognize the encounter with you as an important... They saw you as a messenger, literally. Calling them back to self, to truth, etc. Regardless of the relationship in between the two of you, just you as a being, as a vibration, they now recognize, or if they couldn't quite put their finger on what you were, obviously you were appearing in their reality as something that doesn't fit there. What is this? So, right, much like the priest, that's usually not there. You were different. You were standing out. You were, and I think they finally know what you are, who you are. But more importantly, you do. You clear. You fully embrace this. You're standing again. You're sovereign, empowered, no longer apologetic. Again, it's very Sigma energy, actually. Nothing to prove. I've made my own choices. I know who I am. I know whom I serve. I know what I'm here to do. I'm just, doing it. Whatever you may do to me, it makes no difference. Whatever your needs or intentions are, makes no difference. No one will ever condition me or tell me what to think, however open and kind and generous I am, when it comes to my principles and my actual spiritual, moral foundations, they're not debatable. I think that's what someone realizes. What a strong foundation and connection with the divine this Libra actually had. Wow. So this speaks also of new encounters, aligning with people that, vibe on the same frequency, even if they're from a different cultures, unexpected returns, reconnecting with people from your past, or entirely new energy that feels, so familiar, and the details are irrelevant. What brings you together is irrelevant. It's just this alignment in agreeance when it comes to a specific spiritual belief, foundation, or someone's overall values that they live by, fully embody. Integrity, transparency, authenticity, personal power, but also service, humility. Now, someone gets the bigger picture here. Someone has had an awakening, most definitely. Okay. Destruction of the environment, Thursday, number 23, number 5. Okay, the Great Lord. Someone appears in front of you as either, if they were problematic in the past, completely transformed. But again, tying in with the Empress, this is someone, they themselves realizing that they don't need anyone. Your self-esteem is just out of this world. As in your self-respect, your personal power. And again, no wonder others may want to join the ride. I do see an energy of you somehow being at the forefront, or used as an example, or either way, personal power, you catching up with anything to do with destruction of the environment, anything that may prevent you from entering this energy fully. What's affecting my health? What's affecting my social life? What's affecting my abundance, my prosperity, my ability to fully embody and be what I know myself to be, or I'm supposed to become? So what's preventing my projects from taking off the ground, within or without? So there's this show of personal power. Those around you may be, who is this creature? What's not necessarily in a bad manner. Of course, there will be those who will have a problem with it, but that's no longer your problem. Someone is in awe of the changes that you've made, your resilience, your personal strength, and so on, your determination and strength of character. And now it seems as if someone is either acknowledging it or fully rewarding you for it in some form, whether with for those of you having worked so hard on something, your effort is finally acknowledged. You're receiving your deserved accolades and appreciation and reward and raises, and for many this will be a leveling up in a certain position, either because you come in some form of a position of authority, or you're already established within your field of work and recognized as having mastered something or having the necessary wisdom to act as either a teacher, or so you may actually teach others or have people working under you in that if you work, for example, in administration, or so being in charge or responsible for other people and the overall success of either a business enterprise, a family, yes, in the family dynamics as well. Okay, intellectual talent. So on Thursday, you have a show off of mastery of skills, of grand risings, of, hey, this is who I am. I've always been this person, but again, it comes with you almost sitting, it's almost like Six of Wands energy, sitting victoriously after terrible conflict, and nobody knows how you survived it. You're just sitting there, completely unfazed, untouched, and what happened? How did they do it? Literary, intellectual talent, there it is. Studying, having tapped into something, having developed a strategy, having already a clear plan on how things are going to unfold. Foresight as well. If you're connected with the divine mind, you're decoding and navigating reality in an entirely different manner because you're doing it with a different approach now. Your will is aligned with the natural order, divine will. And again, this is not an emperor that's going to trample on anyone else's realities here, but nor do they seek to rule by neither force nor manipulation or deceit. Now, hey, he wants to follow me, here I am, here I stand, this is what I got, this is what I know, this is what I am. This is someone simply stepping up and taking on the part that they've been in charge with the responsibility that it entails, the hard work, the need to, again, having been purified, trained, prepared for them to have the ability to do so. So whatever amazing new opportunity is here implies more responsibility, and it also implies someone needing to have been passed through certain trials in order for them to be able to handle this, whatever this victory is, right? It involves, again, responsibility, and someone has it. They've mastered it. Yeah. Personal strength that now is in alignment or in the service of others, no longer biased, no longer someone is fully able to use their mental capacity, their knowledge, their wisdom, and everything they've learned up until now. But again, they're using it no longer as a means to either force something into existence, nor are they in need of validation or to impose it upon anyone else or to convince anyone else. Or it's a standalone energy, but somehow I do still feel people gathering or navigating or being guided towards them. At this point, I think they're still either fully developing this new plan, stepping into it, discovering it as they go along, setting down the basis for it. Yep, they're still at the beginning of that journey. Almost as if they feel that once it's all built, people will flock towards them. Okay. They're honorable. They're known as just, fair. They're seeing them as invested with divine authority and born or destined to be doing exactly what they're doing. The Grey Lord also speaks of the energy of a protector, a possible person you may meet. Again, they will collaborate or work with you in this regard. It also speaks of you meeting people with whom you can exchange and share, you align, whether in intellectual capacity, wisdom in general, perspectives, views, subjects that you may study, common goals and interests, nature overall. Most likely either someone with strong air in their chart, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, a professional. Some of you will actually go and seek for further advice or counsel from those who are already on this path, right? You either came across a teacher, some knowledge or wisdom from the past, and you're just kind of clarifying your own ideas, getting deeper into getting everything in order when it comes to what and how you yourself now are going to pass on this wisdom, this light, and how you're going to apply it. And so ancestral wisdom is applicable here as well. And if there's a new energy, again, they will meet you at the same level. You may discover that someone was a lot wiser than they may have shown themselves to be or allowed them. Depends on the nature of this connection. If it's someone from the past, I feel you met in a context that did not really properly convey this other person's true capacity or ability to actually truly not only understand you but align with you. So that energy of rectification, something is being clarified or fully revealed from a whole new light, or a whole new something that wasn't revealed initially. So someone may come back to show off what they've learned, what they know. Reunion, yeah, I just see it now, yeah. So especially for connections, you may discover that you and a person from your past, or someone entirely new, someone from a past that you didn't actually fully get to know, or actually have a lot more in common, or that you were meant to be. And the revelation most likely will occur by you aligning again in either principles, overall spiritual beliefs, vibration, yeah. The vibration was right, but how that translated in the interaction is if that's someone from the past. There may have been a language barrier as well, I hear. Yeah, the lover who could not sing or convey, they may have sung in a different language, and you may have felt the same when trying to express your own feelings towards this person, or convey, or that they don't get you, or they misinterpret. Or for the new energies is someone who may have already been observing. Yeah. Again, I see this energy of either you, whatever it is that you're doing, either being witnessed by someone, or and realizing, wow, I thought wow, someone just like me. Someone may have recognized you as their person, especially if you're feminine, the Grey Lord, the literary man, someone very gentle, delicate, extremely intuitive and wise, very balanced, mature. They may take it a bit slowly. As a matter of fact, I don't see them advancing for that. I do feel wanting them to, or having made some attempt here to approach you, either for counsel or advice, even inquiry, but they're yet to kind of, basically express intent or make a statement, confide, open up fully. Someone is still studying something. Why? The intention to find the proper time. And I feel they're feeling that this person is working on something important. I think that they're just observing and they don't want to disturb the process. Even if that's a boss and someone who wants to make you an offer, sees potential in what you're doing, they're observing you, because this part of the process is going to determine ultimately how all of this is going to unfold and the possible outcome of it. And this is kind of where we all messed up, about being too hasty or not working hard enough on our foundations, or not being willing to tear something down if it's badly built, in order to revisit foundations. And that's how we build corrupt, unstable things, right? And I feel that, yeah, they need to let you do this. It's very important. They may step in order to kind of build up from there. Whether this is an investor, someone having an offer, a possible partner you may work with in certain regards. I feel this ties in basically all throughout with both work, and that's going to obviously determine your connections, relationship dynamics moving forward, whether that's romantical, family-wise, and spiritual authority of some sort. And that's revealed based on how that translates for you when it comes to taking action. Someone's looking not as much as what you say, but what you do. Okay. Okay, so Friday is very powerful. We do see some contact here, some vibing, some harmonizing, some For love, again, connection may be achieved at that point. For many, I feel it's new energies, and for very few of you, whereas there was a twin flame dynamics that never really took off the ground. Many things, coming in between the two, never really got to know one another, or someone may have been stuck in a different situation, needed to free themselves. There is a chance for someone to actually come back around. Okay, restitution, Rohel. On Saturday, we have loyalty. Again, you're only going to work with those true at heart and in intention, capable, devoted, in service, good-natured, well-intended, and just overall amazing. Friendship, loyalty is extremely important to you. No ifs or buts, and no compromises in regards to those who lack said quality. Loyalty, whether to the purpose, to the goal, to someone who they mean what they say, right? And they say what they mean, but even past that point, that's not of relevance to you. How does that translate when it comes to actions, behavior, attitudes, lifestyle, the choices that they're willing to make? What are they willing to sacrifice in order to embody and fully become this, fully honest, transparent, and overall just amazing person, right? Anyone would like them as a friend. I feel you yourself are being perceived in that manner. You're trustworthy. Whomever comes to you sees you almost as a mirror. So only the ready will navigate towards you. Those who feel that they're finally ready to be faced with something that, or someone that is truth embodied, their own personal truth, in order to kind of motivate them and almost trigger their shadow intentionally through this mirroring. Whereas if in general they may have been steering away from this person, now they're actually going towards them precisely for that very purpose. You motivate me to be the best version of myself, even if that's through the revelation of what's got to go, what's untrue, unfounded within me, or corrupt, or what's working against me. So many will actually navigate towards this person, trying to enter their inner circle or come closer, or even if it's just to see, to observe, to learn, or just be in their energy, because it stimulates them to become a better version of themselves. Someone free themselves and now goes on their path, only to realize that they've become the embodiment of what anyone could achieve should they be willing again to do the work. They're a success story, a victory, a spiritual, moral, personal, and practical victory. So no wonder others will look towards it in awe and realize, hey, I can do this too. Saturday is about building strong connections, our most beautiful asset, and dropping and releasing all those situations that can no longer be healed. Having the courage to face something for what it is, and recognizing anything that it's still worth saving, right? Grace or severity. What do we cut out? What do we work on? Restitution, yes. Certain things cannot be saved, and others still have a chance to be worked on if the connection is still there. It's genuine, it's pure, it's in the heart. It doesn't matter whether that's romantic or platonic. And there has to be loyalty and trust and vulnerability and genuine commitment. And you seem to have that person there. I do see you having that kind of energy, or fully embodying it yourself, which is bound to literally manifest people who have the same qualities about them, regardless of what degree or purpose they may, have, or what degree they may be at on their own journey towards that kind of a spirit. You can easily recognize them regardless. Maybe they're at a stage that they're still, I feel that this is someone who has entirely left something behind as well. This is someone who is willing to build back up differently. But in their case, I feel the whole of the foundations were terrible. They had to just fully leave it behind. That may be the case for you as well. Maybe that's what you have in common. You drop the world, whatever you perceived as ultimate success, or your old pursuits, your way of doing things. You return to center, and now you navigate as you are, no actual control per se, but you answer every call to do whatever you feel called to do. It's just I feel your roles or in your natures are different. That doesn't mean that they're not complementary, quite the contrary. I feel someone who is very energetical and has a rather more expansive and explorative energy, where someone else holds down the spiritual foundation so that one doesn't stray too far. And right, very balanced, very beautiful energy actually. This may be the forces or the two aspects within yourself that you've also managed to kind of find a way to harmonize. And there's a time to put in effort and energy, and right, there's a time to retreat, there's a time to ponder, to go within, etc., etc., to build, to destroy, to revolutionize, to revisit. Okay, loyalty and a miraculous chance here to try and to reconnect with someone that may have saved themselves at this point, right? That you had to leave behind because of them not being recoverable, or at least that's how you perceived it at the time. Yeah, restitution. Someone went through a transformative chapter in their life. Someone may have went too far in certain regards, chaos, and something has got to give. Karma here. Almost instant, I hear. That had them forced to kind of switch their whole perspective up here. So imprisonment may have been the case, or some form of an isolation with the sick over there, and someone may actually, a friend may tell you about what they've been traversing and what they're coming out of. And you can sense the transformation, the connection is still strong, you can work on that as well. Again, you're not going to be confused about who is no longer relevant to your journey, who has ill intention, who is just full of bullshit, and whom is actually someone that you recognize as a soulmate. Or again, regardless of the nature of that connection, certain connections can be healed, but naturally so, not because you've done or you're doing or you're forcing or saving anyone. No, you're just minding your own business. But again, there may be someone from the past that may actually return to you to convey loyalty, gratitude, and care, to tell you, hey, I did it. Divine comfort on Sunday. Ability to accept, again, losses and release of old connections. As a matter of fact, I feel you're going to be very quick, as I said, in determining whom you're going to interact with and whom is either dishonest, and you're very sharp, to the point, there's no hesitancy here. As a matter of fact, you want to. You're taking it upon you to cut anything that is not in alignment with your values, your truth, your path. Those toxic connections from the past, which means it's not always about you being judgmental or harsh with your words, or it's also about you cutting through the fluff, being absolutely honest, but also in some regards I feel compassionate, in the sense of realizing that you cannot have this energy lingering within you, whether that's a need for restitution, resentment, right? You're finally letting go, releasing something, connections that are not doing anyone any favors, or at least they've turned into something problematic. This is about unresolved issues, missed opportunities, etc. You're just lifting your hand, fully leaving them to themselves. So you're ready to drop those connections fully and entirely. And I believe that's when someone may say, okay, I feel I need to rectify, so clarify something here in regards to something that was said or done here. In some cases, this is what someone said or has done to you. Karmically speaking, if it's writing, it means it's set, it's already been done, and it cannot be retracted, only atoned for. So whatever someone has done against you, whether according to worldly law, right, so something illegal, an act of corruption, an attempt of usury, false statements or accusations, attempts again to destroy or defame or interfere in someone's destiny here or life path with intention to harm. If someone has done that, I feel they know that they need to fix it. And it has had consequences here, right? So karmically, they may not be able to escape the consequences of that. As a matter of fact, I feel someone has paid for it. Not sure if they realized at the time. Under the guises of friendship and false love, someone was close enough to be able to do something that would have damaged or hurt someone's spiritual process in the most crucial of moments, when they were most vulnerable, struggling the most, getting back to source, connecting with source. If you interfere in that process, like dark night of the soul, in this kind of a manner, in an attempt to exploit, steal something, whether that's destiny, energy, or force or impose or mislead or direct them in a specific direction, when they're literally in the darkest place trying to reconnect with source, no one is to interfere in that process. And I feel someone may recognize as well that that's exactly what they did. This may be someone whom you've met in one of the darkest hours of your time, and what they did or said at the time they may not have realized, but there was an intention here. So they knew what they were doing. This was no fool. Hurt you terribly, interfered in this process, extremely traumatic and intense that you were going through. And I feel someone knows that what they did is needs to be rectified, because it came right back to them, and it hit them tenfold right back. Why is this happening to me? And then they realized, because I hurt a righteous person. Just because you meet them in your physical reality, whereas they're going through something, you don't know if they had to pay for holding true to their values. You don't know the price they had to pay. So they may have to say, oh, look at this beggar, let's kick him. Let's see what we can steal from him. Let's see how we can exploit or humiliate them or manipulate them. So this is what happened. Someone touched a person who was really just working on their connection with source here, going through their own journey, right? Yeah, they were in the midst of a spiritual battle, like they were battling some demons, right, for example. And this energy came here to say, oh, you don't have to do this instead, or look at you, or you're going to fail, or they somehow made it their business. Why did you meddle? What's it to you? And someone has realized that they overstepped something. They did something unthinkable in a spiritual sense. And I feel they used either knowledge or information or communication, or they may have had actual attempts to either, such as recording someone at their lowest and then basically blasting them all over the place. Look at them, mocking energy. Okay. Yeah, I know this dynamics. It always happens when you're fighting a spiritual battle at that intensity. Yeah, it always happens. Someone needs to flock and meddle with it. I think it's lesson learned for this Libra. That's why they're so not protective, but they're affirming their boundaries very clearly here. Flock around and find out, we're not doing that. But now they're in the building process. This is the reward. They paid dearly for it. They lost everything here. They really went in the pleroma, in nothingness, where everything is. They went in absolute blasted darkness. And I feel this is someone who willingly did so, to reveal the hidden forces there in order to transmute, alchemize. And they had what it took to do so. Jung did this as well. So many others know that, in order for you to meet your soul, per se, and fully embrace your purpose, when you're out of solutions and individuation no longer works, and then okay, I'm fighting a legion here, right? You're so split at that point, you may tackle more demons at once. And when it's legion and you're outnumbered, you got to go straight there. Even though it may seem as counterproductive, why would I just not fight at all? But I am fighting. This is how I'm fighting it. I'm allowing the forces that can do so to do it through me. So they turn themselves into a vessel. And of course, it's a high risk because that's when you get overtaken and defeated by those forces. This is an ultimate boss battle in shadow work. By someone who was meant to learn to control lower vibrational entities. But they headed straight into it, into darkness. They weren't working on their material reality then, or personal needs, or Yeah. Then someone interfered here, someone specific. Right at that very moment, rather than making sure that they're safe in order to win this battle, they just went straight. This was an attack. Sometimes it's legally, sometimes it's someone trying to take something from communication-wise. And I feel someone realizes that they didn't quite think that through, did they? Either way, you are victorious, Libra, if this is your story. And that's why you now have spiritual authority, fully embodied, consciously so. You move with intention and purpose. Tell us about dangerous writings. Dangerous writings. Dangerous, yeah, someone who used communication as manipulation tactics. Whether in writing, whether it's directly towards you or behind your back. The spying energy, okay. Referring the enemy in reverse. Again, someone knows that they fucked up badly. They're faced with, with that realization. They have to live with themselves, and I think they can't. Yeah, someone may, I feel they're regretful about having been overly impulsive, not having realized what was up, what they were meddling into. They did not stay in their own lane, and they had an impulsive choice, and I feel that's kind of part of their own shadow work. Rectification. Has been someone rectified? Did they see the error of their ways? Did they do their own work? The lover in reverse and the friend in reverse. A friend who pretended to be. They were confused about their feelings towards. It's in between two feminines. Gender doesn't matter. Yep. The friend, the false friend. The one who stabbed you at your lowest. The one who was supposed to actually support you or proclaimed or that's what she's doing. While all along she was sabotaging, interfering, meddling, attempting to control the process. And literally, actually contributing to the ultimate downfall, what transpires as such of this energy here, of this spiritual authority, which Libra, that was you at the time. So you needed this betrayal. This is Judas energy. You needed the kiss of betrayal. It was important, right? It quickened the process. You may have seen it and you knew it. I feel you did. You needed to quicken the process, and this was necessary. We always get that Judas when we need to achieve something. Leads to our death, and praise be the Most High, rebirth, renewal. Powerful energies. Someone who took this as, well, I'm not doing anything. Light-hearted energy, right? Rectification. Are they changed? It seemed that they're very unbalanced at this time. There may have been other people involved or try to get other people involved as well. It seems as if there's in some sense of a gratitude and a willingness to expand. They're grateful for what they have. I think they're starting to see the blessings, how protected they actually were amidst and despite the whole of the process. Are they still unbalanced? Yeah, I feel context, people have a lot to do with that. Overall, they seem to still have something to fall back on all along. Maybe that's the problem. I feel they're starting to see unworthy of it. If up until now we may have fed into their ego thinking, oh, I got it all, hence taking them to a place where they couldn't care less if someone was either starving or end up, losing their life in the process, and hope and inner spiritual strength. I feel they now see this as some form of an encouragement, right? And a reminder of, hey, this is not who you are. This is not what I made you for. That's why I gave you all of these beautiful things. Not to feed into your ego, but to tell you that you are worth more than this, that you yourself may be called to be in service. I invested all these beautiful, beautiful qualities in you. Put them to good use. I feel someone was wasting their abilities and their skills. Toxic love, meddling, trying to control other people's lives, all stemming from not knowing oneself. I feel that thing that was being said that triggered this person's shadow had to do again with this attempt to remind someone of, you are sacred, you are divine, you have a purpose, fulfill it, return to it. But someone was stuck in prosperity, money, finances, and work, and they would have been satisfied with that. Well, they got that, but something was still off. You got that because that's the hierarchy of needs, even if you look at it psychologically. Once you have the material and practical stability, then you're supposed to move on to the next level. Someone refused. They were just sitting there. And of course, they had all the time to flock around and find out. Playing the friend, in reality, gossiping, meddling, attempting to, as in escaping their own purpose at the time, which was to either restore, step back in the beautiful energy of love and truth and light. Not much effort was required. Sometimes they themselves may be a teacher or someone who just sits there and imparts that energy. Wisdom, guidance, healing. They just were refusing to do so. I feel they know that now. All of the security around you was for that purpose alone. And I feel this person got it, where someone else was called towards either because of having to go through vow of celibacy, poverty, etc. They had to achieve something on their own. And they may have to keep trying to tell them and redirect them back towards their purpose. Don't meddle, mind your own. I see you. You're called to service. Be strong now. And they may have said, yeah, but I don't have this, but I don't have that. There, now you have it. Back to service. No, I don't want to do it. Right? So this was an important encounter between two super powerful beings with two different purposes. Do I see this as being moving past? No, because it's already fulfilled their purpose, whether this person realizes it or not. I feel they do now that they're back to center. I feel something happened to restore them, some form of that humbled them, that brought them back into the heart, some sacrifice to have them see, wow, I see the purpose of the blessings now. So something either painful or dramatic may have happened, and I feel karmically speaking, someone's done it to them. Yeah, it flopped right back, flucked them straight in the face. And it all started to make sense. It faced them with what they were doing and who they were. And returned them back to focus on yourself. This is what you're doing. You don't like it, huh? Stop it now. Get back to the heart. Yeah. Someone was corrected. Well, how? Again, legal counsel, someone said or wrote something or came back straight to them. Sometimes something terrible, completely unrelated may have happened. It stuck them, had them reevaluate everything. Wait a minute, this is not, what am I doing? And got them back to something, to this person. And then they realized, oh, okay, I see what really happened in this dynamics here from a spiritual perspective. And there they are. This is someone who was faced with what we would call, especially when it comes to spiritual warfare, a Lion of Judah, to instill courage within them. This person was supposed to awaken them, to restore them to purpose, to remind them of who they are, for no personal reason whatsoever. But since there were resistance and they refused, their shadow was triggered. And it was important so that it can be revealed and alchemized, integrated. Yeah. Okay, powerful energy here. So nothing is for nothing. If you feel someone betrayed you, or this is their opportunity and their grand rising, they are a blessing and a light unto the world. This is you releasing and understanding that dynamics now, no longer being ever willing to compromise your truth. That's why you needed to pay so dearly for it. And again, this whole process, you're now realizing there was nothing about you being punished or anyone being punished for that matter. It's about putting everyone back to where they belong. Yeah, correction, the great correction. The great correction. You didn't meet by chance. Hope restored. Someone is embodying that spirit or energy of hope, or has the ability to either infuse faith and through personal failure or spiritual warfare. But yeah, so there was something that was lurking there that needed to be revealed, and this encounter with this person had to be revealed. So this energy will be in worldly abundance, fulfilling their purpose and their task, imparting light, love, wisdom unto the world, whereas this other person will continue to do what they've always done, now that they've managed to overcome this painful betrayal that was necessary here. They themselves needed to fully come into their power, so they had to literally go into the depths of whatever there was there to face and defeat. And okay, melancholy in reverse. Yes, I feel a restoration and a release energetically. No harm done, all is good that ends good. Everything we do, let it be done for good. No regrets, no reminiscing, no looking back, not allowing anyone to pull back. Let's look. Monday, Two of Pentacles. Choices, making choices, juggling more than one thing at a time. You absolutely love it. You have momentum. You can do it. You're showing off mastery, practical skills, and willingness to start, handling business. That's finances, connections, relationship, use of time and resources. After fair assessment, we have free energy, the Three of Wands for Tuesday. No longer trying to control the outcome, the process of being focused on that, what's in it for me energy. No, you're fully involved or immersed in that juggling presence, absolute presence. So you're not going to be distracted or, chasing wild goose all over the place or something specific. No, you're flowing with it. You know that you're working and co-creating with other forces at work here. And here we have you for working on your stability, which seems to start to pay off. Finally, prosperity comes in order for you to continue work. You're going to need, first and foremost, your financial and living situation, stability, social life, family, and everything needs to be put in order. Removal of what no longer serves, fixing, mending, fixing, and handling what needs to be handled here. Switching up, readjusting, adapting, and mastering something as well. On top of business, one thing at a time, sometimes two, I can do it. The World in reverse on Wednesday. On Thursday, so Queen of Pentacles, some form of an achievement, a sensation of stability, whether because you have your pay or a salary, or you've managed to pay everything at once. If you're juggling in between bills, yes, there's this energy, how am I going to do it? And boom, there it is. This is how am I going to do it. Establishing oneself or being extremely efficient at work or in anything that you've undertook to either fix, master. So mastery or sensation of having been able to achieve something, give yourself, that beautiful hug. World in reverse, you needing to keep or remove, or rather be focused on what you're doing and not be overly influenced. So you're gonna either be perceived from the outside someone who's extremely reserved at this time, not open. They don't have much energy to extend towards others either. They're not focusing on that, neither on the outcome, connections or relationship per se. They're sticking to what is relevant, removing what is not, or no longer, updates bring about this kind of a, it's not a tower energy, but there's a disconnect from the world in order to fully focus and channel something that's important. And that's how it works, right? That's how creative works as well. There's this energy sensation of aloof, or someone not being available, or they're hard to reach at this time, and because again they're focused on something. On Thursday, on Friday, yeah, and they're making it happen. They're focused on what they're planting. It's very important, those foundations here. Good news in regards to finances, ideas for investments, or picking something up altogether to lead it to some specific outcome, but building with it. So perfecting, mastering, giving it a spin, or learning to do things in a new manner, because something has already been conquered here. Now it opens up the path or the perspective, or it calls them to, okay, what's next? What else? So there's growth, expansion. And I also sense this energy of some good news in regards to those who may either assist or bring something of any use to the table, something that may come back around as a just reward for your mastery, skill, service, and effort. All in all, possible purchases as well, or investments, amazing ideas, proper energy channeled into it, catching the momentum to do so, no distraction, just mastery, self-mastery, skills, clarity, and genuine effort, dedication to the process. Fully involved and immersed. Distractions are not allowed. The stage is extremely important. On Friday. On Saturday, oh wow, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. Finally manifesting that amazing opportunity. You see it, you've already chosen it, you know what you're doing. Clarity is that burst of energy, amazing good news, incredible opportunities. The passion and the fire is going, and it's going in a consistent manner. It's not going to burn the stages. Again, I see an alignment of towards working towards the same goal. Two paths are crossing here. One is bringing skill, mastery, effort, ability, and so on. So they're gonna make sure that something that this fire doesn't burn, stages, or is too hasty, quick, imploding, explosive, etc. That may lead to burnout. So this is so powerful. Wow, this is fire that's controlled. It's invested with intention, channeled properly in a manner that again leads to absolute incredible results here, because it follows through with the stages. It aligns with the laws, with the unfolding and the dynamics around them. And this is someone so connected, so tapped in. Whatever you're manifesting here, it's completely revolutionary. And there's such an incredible spin that challenges all the old world views, anyone else. It's so original. So this is someone's direct connection to source that manages to channel this. But they needed the resources, the opportunity, or the financial stability, the health, I hear, and for them to kind of better organize their time and how they invest their energy, where their focus shift. And so the mastery within leads to the mastery without, and setting down the actual necessary foundations for them to continue to expand on this amazing idea here. Wow, someone stepped in, baby. And they're stepping outside the circle. They're breaking a circle. They're flipping something entirely on it. And they're no longer aligned with the zeitgeist of the old world. They're, again, revolutionary. This is initiative, creativity, brilliant ideas that have never really been expressed or tapped into or manifested in this manner. This is strictly unique or reserved to this person. I sense this energy of people being intrigued as well. No wonder you're going to have to protect your energy here. Intrigued. But you cannot extend more than whatever you can extend. You're going to be very limited in what you can extend towards others at this time. But people are intrigued. This is different. This is not like, right, whatever we see or have seen when it comes to how manifestation works and empowerment, grand rising, manifestation, co-creation. This is not how we used to look at it. So whatever this person is doing, we may not like it. They may be they don't know how they feel about it, but they know this is different. Let's just say it's different. They don't know how to feel about it, but I don't think you care. You shouldn't, right? That's the whole point. The world, I don't care. Not my business. Not my problem. No, it's not my problem. Last but not least, Saturday is powerful for you. Try and fast as well. Some creative spark, some eureka, epiphany, opportunity. I feel both. I feel within something kind of unfolds, and you know, as the moment you think of it, and boom, something happens to make it possible for you. It's the energy of a miracle here, especially in regards to an unexpected opportunity, income. Sometimes this can be inheritance. It can be lightning energy that shifts your relationship with your finances in general. So if you had scarcity or lack mentality, that's forever gone now. You're in the flow of abundance, baby. I lack nothing. I have everything. I have everything I need right here. I am what I need to be. Everything's perfect as is. Light into the world energy. Holding out, oh, the Olympic flame. I see it. And others may be interested in seeing how you're doing it here. Almost as witnesses, or, oh wow. Circle, you're breaking yours and many others' perception of the circle, the world, their own world, worldview, connection with collective in general. And you're saying, no, this is how I do it. Original thought, creative ideas, brilliant, ingenious, inspired, divine inspired ideas, creativity, fruitfulness, fertility, alignment with one's desire, personal power, courage. The Page of Pentacles. I know what I need to do. And there you are, working on it. I know what I need to do next. Yeah. It's so dependent on something entirely new here. So dependent on this event that happens around Friday to Saturday. Something needs to be given unto you here. Light, creativity, illumination, insight. The idea, something is literally just downloaded straight into your reality. Finances, if that's been kind of consuming your energy, and have you still struggled with it, even though you're afloat, there may still be some lingering scarcity, kind of I don't deserve it, with this Two of Pentacles, not sure. And this is kind of just, how do you call it? It's foundation. Is that you're going to build on something that no longer grows on from scarcity, because then it keeps collapsing in and on itself, but rather from abundance. Yep, that's what you're switching up. You used to manifest from scarcity, fight or flight, survival. And now you're, it requires so much press, so tense, but it brought you to mastery. And now you're saying, nah, you don't even care about money anymore. I'm going to receive whatever I need to do, whatever I need to do. Money is not my determining factor here. If I don't have enough, I guess I'm going to have to get more creative. I'm going to let that guide me. But I feel you're going to have exactly as much as you need for you to either further study, and someone may come in again to assist in that regards, to at least bring that sensation of prosperity or fertility. Gifts sometimes are in order as well. Someone's statement or declaration or accolades, and someone meeting you or joining you, either to reveal that they're carried on certain flame, or they're doing the same, or they just want to help you or participate or be with you on this journey. So therefore, two flames become one. Two minds, two hearts, two destinies, two beautiful energy. Let's do this. Yeah, there's a missing element that's still to come through for you here. And there you go, back to work. Let's create, let's build this, let's do it. Beautiful, humble in service, willing to learn. I feel you may take it easy when it comes to accepting someone's offer. You're not going to be distracted from what you're working on. So there are situations where someone would offer their contribution or help or support in some form, or want to just show their gratitude towards you, want to be a part of something that you're doing, or vice versa. So others may see you and say, hey, I want you to work with me. You're going to be honest about it. Listen, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't claim to. I just know I'm doing it. So right now, whatever it is that they're offering, a contract or not right now. I feel you're going to have to say that. Yes, divine comfort. I'm at peace with what I'm doing. I know I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to. Thank you for the offer or support. Truly appreciate it. Making no promises here. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. You're very patient. You're trusting the process. Very beautiful energy. Lo and behold, all throughout the week we have towers, towers, towers galore. We did speak about it. You're working on foundations. Where is the fours? Give us the fours, the fours, the fours, the fours. The four is here, of course, we have it. The divine comfort. Where is it? What happened here? So either way, return to life, creative spark, good health, brilliant ideas. The Four of Cups in reverse. Thank you. Adank. I don't know if we're going to pick that up. Here's your four. And I feel it ties in with you removing, releasing anything that was kind of still draining off of you energetically. Very beautiful. Should we look at it? Ah, yes. Full, complete release, major arcana death. May you be inscribed in the book of life for good. You are a blessing and a light unto the world, and we're eternally grateful for you. The world wouldn't be complete without you. Shalom.